a lot of women have figured this out and they're making OnlyFans accounts, taking advantage of their youth and beauty. And they're making a lot of money doing that. However, is that really the best choice long term? What does a young woman gain, or what should she take from this? And what is a woman who is older? What should she do? So what should a young woman know about this? Like, why is this relevant to understand this, right? Obviously, a lot of women have figured this out and they're making OnlyFans accounts and taking advantage of their youth and beauty. And they're making a lot of money doing that. However, is that really the best choice long term, right? Because the thing about it is to understand, if you're a young woman, no matter how much plastic surgery, no matter how much stuff that you do to try and stay young, eventually you will hit a point where the guys are going to pay more money for the younger OnlyFans girls. You're not going to be getting the opportunity and selection that you have now. You're not going to get flying out to all different places and all that stuff. So the thing to think about, using your advantage while you have it. And so you might say, oh, I can just be single because I have all these opportunities and this is all good. But someday you're going to be in a situation where you don't have as many opportunities. So I'm not saying lower your standards to the point of just shack up, like to tie yourself down with one man. If you're like, I'm not going to do that because I have so many options, realize that those options will diminish over time and you won't have that same event. You won't have the same quality of guy. Just like I was saying, we were talking about this, is that a man that has high status, it's a high quality man, a lot of women want, when he has a lot of options, he's not going to choose an older woman when he could choose a younger woman in general.
But what if that older woman is everything he wants? She's just not 21 or 22.
Yeah, but why bet on winning the lottery?
But my thing is,
because it's
would a
less
man
likely.
choose a 22-year-old who doesn't have everything, doesn't treat him like a king or give him everything he wants, over a 36-year-old who does, but she's 36?
I mean, maybe, if you get nitpicky on the age range, but maybe that guy's dating profile, his range is 20 to 25. So he's never even going to see that. So I'm not saying that he would make that choice if he was dating both of those women.
He might meet her at the grocery store.
But a lot of guys that are going to be successful in high status are going to be dating the women that they want to date. And it's going to be based off of youth and beauty. So you might be the diamond in the rough, but he's never going to know because he's not going to be going out on a date with you. It's a harsh reality, but it is a reality. And it's not meant to hurt anyone's feelings. But I'm just saying this in order to understand what's going to happen. So as a young woman, you should understand that what's in your best interest is to not be as promiscuous when you're young, right? I'm not saying that you have to be a total 100% abstinent, but I'm saying that not be as promiscuous so that a man has to invest more. And while you're at your greatest advantage, really be looking at serious relationships as opposed to just having fun, right? I'm not saying you can't have any fun, but I'm saying really be looking more at that, because that's when you can set yourself up with the best guy, the best that you can get at the best time, and build a relationship and a foundation for later.
I mean, I agree with those things.
Yeah.
However, I was once a 21, 22-year-old girl. And granted, you and I talked about this, and sure, maybe if I was the way that I am now, things would have been different. But I don't think they would have been genuinely very different. And I did not come across a lot of high value men in the way that you're talking about. Like, you make it sound like young, attractive women are just being chased down by these really quality guys in their 20s. And if I'm being honest, that's not really what's happening. Maybe a few come along and they are, and maybe the women mess those things up. But maybe also too, there's things about these guys that they don't necessarily like. And so a lot of these men who are 1% don't want to settle down with women either. So they're looking for them, but they can't even get those men even if they wanted to. In a way, maybe they could, but it takes more than just looks, which we'll obviously get to too. But I just want to say that, like, it's not also as easy as you're making it seem, because there is a lack of quality men.
For sure,
and a lot of the high quality men a lot of times don't want to settle down. And I'm not saying that you can't change those men's mind, but you can't with just youth and beauty alone.
And that we'll definitely get to, because you're right, because that is the key, is that you can't do that with youth and beauty alone.
But I agree with, don't be promiscuous and be serious, because I think too, there is definitely some pro-promiscuity stuff going on.
Yeah, there's a lot
But at the same time, I think it's kind of coming back down now, and women are kind of tired of giving their bodies to men that are just using them, if I'm being honest. And it's exhausting as a woman, because a lot of times women do become intimate with a man at even a reasonable point of time, and the man will still leave, or still ghost her or things like that. So it's it's not even a lot of times women just going out and having sex. Like there are definitely women who are doing that. And there are times that even a woman who's serious might do that. And that's not really the best way to operate. A lot of times too, though, and it's worth mentioning that these women aren't just giving it up to random people. They're trying to increase the intimacy because they've been on 5 dates with the guy. They're like, okay, I want to be boyfriend, girlfriend. And so they think, okay, well, I've waited enough time. He seems serious about me. I'm going to sleep with him. And then she never hears from him again.
Yeah. And that happens, and that you can't be really faulted in those circumstances. But a lot of the one-night stands, a lot of the promiscuity that happens, or just the promoting of it, that's where you're kind of hurting yourself.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And I want to say another reason to not be promiscuous as a woman, especially as a young woman, is that it will make men have to step up and invest and do more to court you. If you just give them what they want, which is sex, right away, or even unfortunately 5 dates in without really feeling like he's invested something first. And even then you might still get screwed over. But we should be protecting our bodies and our sexual expression for people that we are very serious about. And we have felt that they are serious about us. Again, a man can still manipulate you into thinking he cares about you and still do those things. But you also shouldn't feel bad about those instances. If you genuinely have tried to figure out, is he really invested, given it enough amount of time, and he still did that to you? Because at that point, it's not on you. It's on that man. For manipulating you.
Yeah. And I say this as someone who was a dating coach for men, teaching guys how to pick up women and sleep with them from a nightclub or whatever. So I'm giving women the hidden tech, the secrets, because I know this. I know that men are going to try and do this, that men will pay me a lot of money to help them to be able to do this. But it's not in the best interest of a woman that's looking to have a long-term future and to have a more successful life. So it's like, depends on which side am I on. And there's supposed to be this. There's two conflicting things that are happening. That's what creates the sexual tension. That's what creates the tension, is that the man is trying to sleep with the woman as soon as possible. The woman is trying to find a quality man and prevent him from getting what he wants long enough for him to commit and to put an investment in. Men can't just lay down and be like, no, I'm going to not sleep with women. That's bad. It's wrong, John. We're going to just be respectful gentlemen. If they do that, they'll just get knocked over. So the men have to be trying to do it, and the women have to actively be defending against it. And then the best men that get through the defenses are hopefully going to be the more quality ones, because the women are good at vetting them. And that's how it should work. That dynamic has to remain. So it might seem a little hypocritical, and I get that, but
no, I appreciate
both sides have to exist.
Telling the truth.